I came out to my parents via email. Every year of college, they basically were like, you should do something else. I started doing stand-up during the pandemic. I started doing stand-up on Zoom. I've been fired from every part-time job I've ever had.
I'm not surprised.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I honestly generally think that gay guys are not turned on by comedy, though, no matter what they say. I mean, comedy is trauma. Every guy that, like, turned me down on Grindr is watching.
Yeah.
And I hope they're watching now, too.
Welcome, guys, to The Gays of Our Days. We have a special guest today. His name is Michael Henry. He's an actor, comedian, nice person, YouTuber. You've probably known him from some of the TikToks. People on YouTube are aware. Mm-hmm. Not me saying YouTube and naming that they know you from TikToks.
Yes.
But Michael Henry, welcome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming to New York.
I know. I've never been here before.
Full of shit. We'll talk about your journey, guys. Michael is one of the people who, when I started doing YouTube, I was like gay YouTuber or like gay funny jokes, and you were the one who popped out.
Oh, I love to
I
hear
could
that.
never copy this. That's too much talent for me. But I could never copy it. But it was kind of inspiring to see that you're one of the very first YouTubers who are like 11 years ago, your oldest video, I think.
Maybe, yeah.
So I want to ask you like a couple questions. We'll go through different stages in terms of, first one, I wanted to ask you, when did you know you were gay? And when did you know you were funny gay?
Oh, God.
So.
Well, okay. Well, I knew when I was a kid, I liked to make people laugh. I made voices and things like that. And that was probably also like junior high. I was like, okay, I'm gay. Okay. Because also when you're gay in junior high and high school, you're like, okay, everybody hates me. How do I get people to like me?
That
Comedy.
makes so much sense.
Yes. Yeah. So I try to make people laugh, got some friends from that. And then.
In what way? Like, how did you try to?
I loved sitcoms. Growing up, have you ever heard of the Golden Girls?
No.
Okay, so for
this
people,
is gonna be a tough conversation.
So people out there who are over 30, the Golden Girls was on in the 80s, and it was on Lifetime channel. Okay. So I would run home from school, I would watch the Golden Girls, I would watch the Rosie O'Donnell show, I would watch Designing Women and Dr. Phil. So
I know Dr. Phil.
Okay, there we go.
Period.
Yes. So that was my foray into comedy world and mental health help.
Okay. I see
the Dr. Phil part. Yeah. But I've just learned from the Golden Girls, like, self-deprecating humor. You know,
when you attack yourself.
Kind of. When you make jokes about yourself. Like Dorothy is a character on there. They always make jokes about her, but then she gets the last laugh because she's funnier than what they were saying.
You see, that's where I learned from Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence is the Dorothy of Gen Z.
That's where I learned, because when I was like probably 19, I was still in the closet, but I was like, how to be charismatic, and I kind of liked her, and I just like watched videos how she handles herself in terms of
and you liked it.
And I liked it. I think it's funny. I use it every day.
Smart. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, she, is, it helps that she's incredibly beautiful.
That's, that definitely plays a big part.
I think that being very beautiful plays a big part in people liking you. And she's also very talented.
A lot of people hate her for this too, but.
Yeah, but the haters, I find that people that hate you when you're like that, it's jealousy.
True. Honestly, period.
Yeah.
So you were in high school, you started to like watch all these shows.
Yeah.
Did you like make a stand-up show, or like was it just like being funny naturally to friends?
No, I was just being funny naturally to my friends. Like, I also wrote, fan fiction.
Yeah.
I used to write like NSYNC fan fiction and Sailor Moon fan fiction.
That's iconic, Sailor Moon.
Yes.
Okay. I know this.
Okay, there we go. That transcends generations. I would put it on blogs, and that was like, okay, that was my first, step into writing.
Okay.
At the Sailor Moon fan fiction. They were all lesbians though in my fan fiction.
Not the lesbians.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, everybody was making making lesbian fan fiction with them.
That was a point.
I think so.
Okay. So when you were in high school, did you had like mostly girlfriends?
All my friends were girls.
So you were exposed.
I was exposed. In that regard, yes. So I had all my friends were women. My prom dates were my friends that were girls. We actually had my prom was actually at the Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that crazy?
That's iconic.
I know.
You guys, if you don't know Plaza, it's in New York City.
They
Home
filmed
Alone.
Home Alone 2 there.
Yeah.
Hello.
So you grew up basically in New York.
I grew up on Long Island. Yeah.
Yeah. Growing up in Long Island and growing up in New York City, do you think were there a difference between the people?
Oh, totally. I mean, New York, Long Island. The people who had money, their parents worked in the city, and they had like good cars. They had they went to great schools after high school. My dad worked in New Jersey.
Okay, so
That's
a little bit of a red flag
little
here.
different. Like I had and my dad was a cheese salesman.
Okay.
In New Jersey, and no, my first car was a '93 Ford Taurus, so
I
didn't
never
have the
had a car,
Mercedes.
but it's not the best one, right?
No, it's not.
Okay, so yeah, period.
It worked.
Yeah,
But
that's the most important part.
Well, I think a lot of people would rather have a broken Mercedes just so they could take photos with it.
Period. When did you came out?
I think I came out around 19. I had a friend that went to Queens College, and she was in a sorority.
Okay.
Yes, and she had a sorority party at Killarney's in, I think, Maspeth, Queens. And me and my other friend went, and they were serving underage people there. I think this place is out of business, so it's okay that I'm ratting them out.
It's like
And it's different. It was a different era, different century.
okay. Period.
But we were underage drinking, and there was this guy there that another friend was friends with, and I ended up making out with him. And that night, everybody was like, "Oh, Michael!" I mean, everyone already knew I was gay because
But they were, like, so
come on.
excited
But
for
now it was like, oh, finally, Michael's like, telling everyone that he's gay and doing gay shit.
So you just like made out with a guy, and that's how you came out.
Heaven on earth, yeah, making out with him. I think it was Halloween too, and I was dressed as a doctor.
What about him? Patient?
I know, a patient. I wish I gave him an exam there, but no, he was gorgeous, and we reconnected on MySpace.
Oh, okay,
remember
MySpace.
MySpace?
Yeah, I mean, I never was on it, but
was the
there was
TikTok
there was an
of,
era. I
yeah.
still didn't have internet when you had MySpace, so yeah, I'm like from this third world country,
Got
so
it.
yeah, I'm a little
Got
far
it.
away.
Yeah.
I ate the stone soup. For
They're
the
just getting MySpace now over there.
I think they catch up.
Yeah.
So you went to college for acting, you said, right?
I went to college for acting on Long Island University. But first I went to community college, and every year of college, they basically were like, you should do something else. They kept basically saying that I wasn't talented enough to do this.
This is so annoying.
It's annoying, but also I
Push
would
you
be
to be better.
lying I'd be lying if I said it didn't like push me more.
It reminds me a story about my English teacher, how she was like, "You're not that great in English." And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going to go study in capital of Ukraine." And she was like, "You know what? I don't think you should. I think you should just go like to the city next to us. Like, be for real." And I was like, "Now I'm here."
Okay.
And
So you
she's in-
followed her. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, but I know, it kind of stuck to my head where I was like, and I was pretty okay.
Yeah.
But she's like, "You know what? You're not as talented." You know, this meme was like, "You're not that beautiful.
Yes.
You're not that bright." I'm so glad we had this conversation.
Yes.
That's what was for 2 years. I was
Exactly.
told you're not that beautiful, but it helps in life.
It does help. I mean, if you want to do something, you can't really let somebody else stop you. I
Yeah.
mean, literally, I could bring up my therapist all the time. My therapist, I said to him, "Do you ever have?" Most of his clients are like in the acting industry or whatever. I was like, "Do you ever have clients that are like not good, and you push them to keep doing it?" And he was like, "Yeah, because being good doesn't matter really. Like it's your hard work and your ethic, your
Yeah.
work ethic."
There are so many people who are good and they're losers because You know what I mean? Because
Speak on that.
yeah, it's like there's so many great people who sing great, but they're not popular singers because it's more than just singing great.
No, and then there's, people that want to make fun of J-Lo,
Yeah.
She is one of the hardest working people, I think, on earth, probably.
I agree. Yeah, it's hard to be her. But coming back to you very quickly. So when did you realize that you're like, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing my own thing?
Well, every year in college, my professors were like, you should probably try something else, do something else.
Like what, chemistry?
Yeah, please. That definitely wouldn't be chemistry. I think that they wanted me to just like, I don't know, become a teacher or something.
Oh, okay.
But no, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna keep doing this. And then right after college, I moved to LA because everybody I went to school with moved to New York, like Astoria, Queens. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be different. I moved to LA, and I'm one of the only people that are still doing it out here, trying to do this.
What did people from your school turn into?
They're probably like working like business jobs.
Okay.
I'm sure they're making good money, but at the end of the day, I got to be happy doing what I'm doing.
How was your coming out experience? Was it like acceptable from your parents?
I came out to my parents via email.
Oh, period. That's interesting story.
Yes, I sent my parents emails, and at the time I was like, you know what? I feel like so embarrassed that I can't just like pick up the phone or sit them on the couch like they do in TV and movies. So I just sent them, but
What did you write?
I basically said something like,
Dear
Dear
Mom
Mom and Dad, I'm a faggot." No, I said, "Dear Mom and Dad, you probably already know this, but I just want to make sure that you know that I'm gay." And I got such nice emails back from them.
Oh, what did they say?
My mom's was very sweet, like, "Yeah, we know this, blah blah blah."
Dear son.
Yes,
We knew.
we know. And my dad said something so sweet. I actually posted on my social media a couple times on like Father's Day.
Facebook?
Yes, on
Okay.
Facebook and on MySpace. And it was basically really sweet. My dad was like, "You've always been the love of my life. And right when you were born, all I ever wanted was for you to be happy. And you telling me that you're gay doesn't change that."
That's so sweet.
So
My dad
sweet.
left me when I was 10, so
No.
I wish...
At least it wasn't because of the gay thing.
Probably. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe he saw it early on. It's like, I'm gonna flush.
It was just you.
Yeah, but that was so sweet that he did it to you.
It was really sweet. And I have those emails like forever unless, we get the internet taken away.
Yeah, it's very sweet, and it's like important that you got this reassurance. And did you guys got on a Skype call later on, or?
We phone called later, and they were like, "Did you get our emails?"
Okay.
I was like, "Yeah, you got the emails, thank you." And I don't remember us having a deep follow-up
So
conversation.
they just knew.
It was just like, okay, moving on.
You moved to LA.
Yeah.
You started to do comedy right away?
I moved to LA and I auditioned. And back in the day, when you moved to LA, the big goal was you got to build your reel.
Oh, I remember the video. It
Yes.
was a real thing even like 5-6 years ago, I think, right?
When I first started, I moved to LA in 2009. So the big thing was you got to build your acting reel. So I did student films. It was a bit of a shit show, but I did that. And then I worked at a restaurant, and this girl was like, "You should probably try doing improv." So I tried doing improv, and I did that at this place called Improv Olympic. There is one in Chicago also. So I did Improv Olympic, and then I did Second City, and then I did UCB, and then I did Groundlings. And then,
And you were working as a waiter?
yeah, I'm working as a waiter. I did that for like 10 years there. And then I got fired.
We'll get there. Hold on.
I've been fired from every part-time job I've ever had.
I'm not surprised.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's the universe. It's the universe
Just telling
guiding
you,
me.
yeah, you were not in the right place.
Not in the right place.
So you did the UCB,
I did
all
the
this stuff.
UCB. I did like all the improv. I did the sketch comedy live because at that time, well, the first around a little bit before that, Cola Scola and Jeffrey Self, they had this YouTube channel called VGL Boys,
Okay.
which you should watch. They're hilarious. That is what really was like, because that was like when YouTube first started in like 2006. And I was like, okay, I would love to be doing what they're doing, which is these funny sketches that make no sense. They were impersonating
There wasn't
Bernadette
money on
Peters.
YouTube yet.
No, but they were getting like good attention, and the gays loved it. And I was like, they're a bit like my inspiration. So then I'm doing Second City. This is a few years later, and then they teach you how to write sketch comedy. So I learned how to do sketch comedy on stage, did some reviews there, and then I started like just writing things for YouTube. And once I started making them gay oriented, then I started to get more
Do
attention.
you remember your first viral video?
Well,
Or
like-
like something that is like over 100,000 views?
Yeah, impersonated my mom.
That's so predictable.
Yes,
Lone Island mother.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like I impersonated my mom because she does this all the time. Like when I'm driving and she's in the passenger seat, she acts like she's in a plane that's going down.
Down, yeah.
It's like, making all these noises. You're too close on the right. You're going to back over this person. It's
Michael,
like,
can you pay attention to the
exactly.
road?
Pay attention. Why is this song on? Turn the radio off. You need to
Yeah.
concentrate. Like, I'm in my 30s. I could figure this out.
Yeah.
But no, she still does that. And so I just impersonated her and I pretended to be her. And I had my friend in the passenger
What was
seat.
your feeling? Like, did you put the video and it was overnight or it was...
Well, here's the thing. I would post a video, and then I would message on Facebook every blogger.
Oh, that's smart.
Yes.
You're a hustler.
Yes, I messaged every BuzzFeed blogger, every gay platform writer from Queerty, New Now Next, anybody at Logo. I would message all of them individually my video. And then BuzzFeed wrote it up. And then from that it went viral.
Interesting. So it wasn't
Yes.
just algorithm. It was
No,
push.
back then, it wasn't so much algorithm that did things for
get
you.
it.
It was some sort of organic interest where you had to push it somehow.
Got it.
And then people shared it. And every time I made a YouTube video, I would message different bloggers that
And they
wrote
would pick up
articles.
sometimes.
Yeah. Back in the day, a lot of the blogs used to write up a lot of gay content, gay YouTube videos. Now, lots of people are making content, so it isn't as special.
Yeah, but they're still writing about it.
Yeah.
Interesting. So that was how did you build? And you started to get subscribers, right?
Yeah.
You started to
the
get
second I remember I was at Six Flags, and the second I was there when I got 10,000 subscribers, and I was like, that's when you're like, get to use the YouTube Studio, which I still have never used. But back
YouTube Studio is an app.
is it in that and the actual in-person studio?
Oh, I didn't know that's a
They
thing.
used to have it. I don't know if they still have it, but they would have an in-person studio like where you could rent it and film stuff there.
Interesting. So you said you got to the park, 10,000 people. You got
And
to
I
get.
was like, wow, I feel like I'm like onto something. Like that's when I started to feel like, okay, I think that people are caring. I'm creating a community.
Validation, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that was like the big thing. Is like I'm developing a community of mostly gay men
Yeah.
that are around my age that care about what I'm doing, that relate to the things that I'm talking about, and it really felt. It just felt really good to feel like my professors were wrong. You know, I do have some talent.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, it felt validating that, I'm
Your
onto
ex
something.
is watching.
Yes. Every guy that like turned me down on Grindr is watching.
Yeah.
And I hope they're watching now too.
When did you get recognized for the first time? Was it like West Hollywood or?
First time I was after a Growlings class. I was at the bar across the street, and someone came up to me and was like, "Oh my God, I love that video that you did." I forget what video they were talking about, but I was like, "Oh my God, that is so
Sweet.
nice."
Yeah.
And to me, that is like one of the most rewarding things that happens.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
It is so cool.
I remember there was a time when I started doing like a lot of video. I mean, first time I got recognized, it was in Times Square when I just moved to New York.
Wow.
And I didn't even do interviews. I was just like walking with a gay flag, and that's how I went viral.
Yeah.
And it was like the guy from Florida was like, "Can I take a picture with you?" But when I really started like get a lot more recognized when I started to do interviews, and for some reason I just went to Florida and I filmed like 40.
Okay.
And a lot of them, like, they were like 1 million, 2 million. It was
Yeah.
viral, but I was at home the whole winter. And then I
Right.
signed up for Equinox, and there was like, I went to Equinox, and it
And
was
then when
like,
you were in the steam room, everyone was, you were so
I was
popular.
I was too shy. I was too shy at this point to go. Steam room was a separate topic, but I was like, that's when it was like 3 people came to me and was like, oh my gosh, I'm popular.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. But it's like a very good feeling. It's not like necessarily for your ego. It's just like validates that the work you do. Because when you post videos on the internet, you see it as a number. So it's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
only 50,000, or it's like 10,000, whatever. But then
Yeah.
it's like a real, like that's real people.
Right. Yeah. And it makes, because people are commenting like, "Oh, that was so funny," or when they quote a video, it's like you're actually entertained, you know,
yeah.
that
And they can see themselves in you, the relatability.
exactly.
Yeah.
Or if I talk about a topic, like I also like to talk about like kind of like hard topics or uncomfortable topics. Like I've done videos on HIV, meth, you know, sexual assault, and when people tell me something like, oh, something that was, that conversation that was had in that video like meant something to them, that makes me feel really good.
Interesting. So that's how you started your YouTube career. Did you like quit your when you got
I
fired?
got fired.
You got fired. Uh, Very quick. How did you get fired?
Basically, my restaurant that I was working at got bought out by another restaurant, but it was going to be the exact same staff, same bosses, and everything. But they were like, "This is our opportunity to not rehire you." So I was like, "Okay, work." So they said, "I'm going to take this as a sign from God or whoever, the universe, that I need to just hunker down and do my content full time."
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I've been doing ever since. That was in 2019.
Wild. And what, for example, when did you start like touring?
I started doing stand up during the pandemic. So I started doing stand up
So
on
when you should not be doing.
basically, exactly. I started doing stand up on Zoom.
Okay.
So on Zoom,
Not the Zoom people.
Zoom people, Zoom audience is silent. So I started doing stand up to silence. So which actually, when I do stand up now with my friend Tim, who's been doing stand up before that, sometimes he'll have to tell me, you know what, that joke isn't working.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't notice because I started doing stand up without reactions.
I wish I had your confidence. I feel like all the jokes I would make.
It doesn't matter. I had a diarrhea joke once about eating a burrito, and Tim had one day was like, you know what? No one's laughing at that joke. So I was like, all right, maybe it's time to cut that.
Okay, so you started doing stand up since
Started
then.
doing stand up.
You travel.
And now, you know, now that, you know, pandemic's basically over, I travel with stand up out of town. And honestly, part of the whole reason I started doing comedy in the first place was so that I could travel with it.
Okay.
Because Second City, they had these cruises that you could do sketch comedy on. And the second I was eligible to do it, they stopped doing them. So I was like, forget this. So then I started doing stand up, and now I get to travel and do it. Like I love performing at like gay festivals. I did a Chub Fest a couple
I
months
didn't know there
ago.
was a Chap Fest.
Oh my
I
god!
need to go interview people there.
Go there. I mean, there are Chub Chasers. It's amazing. It's called Cannonball Festival. It was, I think, 15. They rent
What
out
location?
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I'm sure, yeah.
They rent out an entire hotel, and it is Big Boy Central.
You like talk about like math, like, you know, all this like different stuff. Where does it come from? Like, why do you pick those topics?
Well, I try to do topics that gay guys are talking about. You know, that's.
But
I mean,
they also talk about like having sex and like,
yeah,
you know.
totally. I mean, there's more humor to be had when talking about sex. But talking about meth or sexual assault or HIV or G or like even domestic violence, I did a video on. Those are actual conversations that have stemmed from my real life. Like that haven't necessarily
So
happened
it was
to
around
me.
people. Got
But
it.
conversations that I've had with my friends, and I feel like that's what people like about my videos when I talk about topics like that, is that they seem authentic.
Yeah.
And I have a balanced argument. You know, it's not three characters against something.
Interesting.
I like to have a balanced conversation.
How do you make money if you're a comedian nowadays?
You have to diversify your, interests. You have to be doing YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You have to be doing like live shows. You have to.
OnlyFans too sometimes.
Yeah, if you could do an OnlyFans, do an OnlyFans. Do knock jokes while you're getting fucked. You got to do it all.
It's actually a good niche. If there was like OnlyFans comedian and he would talk about his collab.
There are some.
There are.
My friend Drew Valentino, he does OnlyFans and he's a comedian and his Twitter is actually very funny and he's sometimes naked while doing some funny stuff. It's like, hey, marry the two. So I honestly generally think that gay guys are not turned on by comedy though, no matter what they say. Gay guys have some weird thing with comedy. Like, gay guys don't like to know too much about someone, I think.
Gay guys don't like to know.
No,
aren't they like the most gossip people, like girls too?
But that's not about you. If you are doing stand up, you're talking about yourself. And when you're doing comedy, at least I mean my style of comedy and a lot of others, it's like you're talking about your own perspective on life and
they don't care.
And well, I think that gay guys are turned off by knowing too much about a guy. They like there to be a veneer of mystery.
It's given trauma.
100%. I mean, that's comedy.
Yeah. It's given a little traumatic here.
Yeah, I mean, comedy is trauma.
But you still have like gay guys on your shows, right?
Yeah,
They do come a little bit.
Yeah, but they're not fucking me.
True. We don't know actually.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. Yeah. I didn't see. I wasn't witness or whatever.
But no, what was I gonna say? Yeah, to do comedy now, you have to do everything. That's why if you're a stand-up and you're like, I don't understand social media, it's gonna be really hard for you to get popular then.
I like that you were aware of those things too. I've met some people and they're they want to be a comedian. When I took an improv class, and I was like, yeah, I just don't think social media is important to be a comedian. I was like, you're delusional.
It's everything.
Yeah,
literally.
And it's really delusional that people that just cannot accept that they have to do extra now. And also, it's a good way though, because before you would have to go through a bunch of creepy people to get on a stage, like a bunch of weird agents and stuff like this. And now you can just build your own destiny.
It's great. I mean, the doors are now open, really. You don't have to, you used to have to wait for permission to do things.
Yeah, and now you can be in Kentucky.
Literally, this is all you need to open doors for you.
Yeah. Do you have anything coming up?
I have a new show on OUTtv coming out, and OUTtv is an app that you could get, anywhere, outtv.com. Yeah, it's an app. It's a TV channel in Canada.
Period.
But you could access it almost anywhere, and it's called Wish You Were Queer. It's me and my friend Tim Murray. We travel middle America doing stand-up and just funny stuff. It's very simple life meets my life on the D-list, and Trixie Mattel is in it.
Period.
6 episodes.
Okay, that's cool.
Wish You Were Queer, May 22nd.
Okay, I'm gonna watch. Thank you so much, Michael, for your time.
Thanks for having me.
And we're gonna do some more videos probably, or we're just gonna talk and shit. And hopefully you guys enjoy this. Please subscribe to his channel if you didn't. He does a lot of cool stuff, and check out his show, Wish You Were Queer. If you're still here, it means you're the real one, because you went through this whole, I think it's an hour.
Yeah, I watch everything on YouTube at double speed.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
that's a good sign. Yeah. So if you're still here, thank you so much for audience retention, because if you could play this video again on the background.
Yes.
So it's gonna get pushed more.
Yes.
I love it, and thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye. Wait, how many minutes? Oh, that's great. 55 minutes.